Kai became infamous during his freshman year at college. The guy started a 1 versus 4 cafeteria brawl over some cringy, "What are you staring at?" "Yeah, I'm staring." "Got a problem?" nonsense. With his insane fighting skills, he naturally became the school's top enforcer, a formidable presence no one dared to cross. Bullies who once preyed on others now steered clear, and even the delicate, upper-class women felt compelled to seek his defense. Little did they know, when this tough guy fell in love, he turned into human duct tape, sticking to every private corner, kissing every unbruised inch of skin. Then there was Liam, your average trust fund kid with a persistent speech impediment. Within weeks of starting college, he became known as Stutter Boy, a moniker that clung to him just as Kai's reputation was cemented through fists. Though both were considered campus heartthrobs, neither quite achieved true Prince Charming status. Kai was too aggressively edgy, Liam too self-conscious. They weren't close but shared a dorm. Of their 4 roommates, Kai was the lone wolf. Liam pegged him as terminally edgy from day one. He arrived on campus with his arm in a sling, stubbornly doing everything one-handed while maintaining a permanent stink face. "Think you're in some rebellion phase? Got to keep up the tough act?" Liam thought, rolling his eyes. He rapped on Kai's bed frame, forcing him to notice. The RA had already called Kai 3 times with no response, the bass from his headphones probably shaking the very foundations of the dorm. Annoyed by Liam's persistent gesturing, Kai slowly removed his ear gear. "What?" he grunted, his voice a low growl. "Dorm dinner tonight," Liam stated, a slight hesitation in his voice, but pushing past it. "You are coming." Kai's lips twitched as if he'd swallowed a retort, but he held it back. "Busy." "Whatever. Pretty boy privilege much?" Liam recognized that familiar dismissive tone. What truly cemented Kai's cringe status was a post-injury fight that became campus legend. Rumors buzzed that he took on 4 guys in the cafeteria over that same stupid, staring contest, ending up smashing their faces into spilled trays of food. When Liam returned to their room later that day, he found Kai clumsily applying antiseptic to his upper arm wound, contorting comically to reach it. Liam snorted, a laugh escaping him despite himself. "Funny," he choked out, trying to stifle his amusement. "Thought, cool guys don't need first aid. Doesn't fit your image." Kai glared, his eyes narrowed. He pressed his lips tight, then finally snapped with maximum edge, "Their kebab skewer scratched me." Liam picked off a sesame seed from his own shirt, feigning casualness. "Infection risk," he said, laughing helplessly before his expression softened. "Here, let me help you with that." For all his cringe, Kai backed it up. When the humiliated guys retaliated, he beat them again. Teenage loyalties being fickle, by midterm, they'd all become his lackeys. Thus, Kai ascended as campus kingpin. The 6 feet 1 inch enforcer moved with a coiled energy, his golden skin glowing under gym lights. Every inch the warrior prince, all taut muscle and simmering intensity. The guy was the epitome of a jock, but with a surprising golden retriever energy beneath the tough exterior. Since Kai became the school's alpha male, his popularity skyrocketed. Though untouchable, he remained prime viewing material. Any sports event featuring him would pack the bleachers with yearbook photographers, aspiring influencers, and the occasional brave soul hoping to become his prom queen. That day, Liam witnessed one such prom queen attempt firsthand. He was wandering the track field, lost in his thoughts, when a group of senior girls sprinted past him, their excited chatter cutting through the afternoon air. "Hurry! Kai's playing basketball at court 3. Curiosity, a potent force, tugged at Liam. Everyone knew Kai's basketball skills were legendary. Liam had seen his dunk photos on the school forum, textbook perfection, a display of raw power and grace. It was time to see those moves in real life, to understand the magnetic pull Kai seemed to exert on the entire campus. His timing, however, couldn't have been worse. Liam arrived just as some guy started confessing his feelings to Kai. Not entirely unusual, public declarations of affection were a common, if often awkward, campus spectacle when it came to Kai. Except this was Sam, the same kid who'd recently outed himself as the Sweetling89 account owner on their school's Reddit page, known for posting anonymous, intensely romantic, and slightly obsessive odes to an unnamed, campus warrior. Kai's eyes, an unreadable swirl of emotions, locked onto Liam mid-confession. His expression was indescribable, a flicker of annoyance, perhaps a hint of embarrassment, and something else Liam couldn't quite decipher. Sam, oblivious to the silent exchange, kept pouring his heart out. "It's okay if you don't like me yet. You just haven't seen how good I can be for you. Stay right there. I'll make you fall for me." The crowd, always eager for drama, erupted in wolf whistles and cheers. Kai kept glancing Liam's way, a subtle shift in his posture betraying a hint of discomfort. Having your roommate witness your cringiest moments? Brutal, especially when you're trying to maintain that untouchable bad boy image. Liam shifted awkwardly, half turning to leave before pivoting back, unable to tear his gaze away from the unfolding scene. Their eyes met again, a silent current passing between them. Then came the rejection, a declaration heard across the quad, cutting through the general hubbub of the campus. "Not available." The collective groan of disappointed spectators almost drowned out Liam's surprise. "Kai, taken? Impossible." His phone had been gathering dust on their dorm desk for 7 days straight. What kind of relationship ran on that low a battery? It simply didn't compute. His own phone buzzed insistently, pulling him from his bewildered thoughts. Aunt Clara's tearful hiccups came through the receiver. "Liam, sniff. You need to come home. Right now." "What happened, Miss Drama Queen?" Liam asked, a familiar exasperation lacing his voice. "Just come home." "It is." Aunt Clara's voice dissolved into another sob. Being a local kid, Liam only dormed for the experience, a way to gain some independence. His mom had died from complications when he was 4. His dad remarried Aunt Clara when Liam turned 8, a woman Liam had initially pegged as a gold digger, but who, surprisingly, possessed a heart of gold and actually bothered to parent her stepkid. She'd never treated him poorly, save for one slightly overbearing demand, insisting he call her Aunt Clara, not Mom. When Liam got home, he realized today was Aunt Clara and his dad's wedding anniversary. His dear old father was away on yet another business trip, a recurring theme that always left Aunt Clara heartbroken. "This time I won't forgive him easily," she declared, dabbing at her eyes. Liam handed her a tissue. His dad had always been swamped with work, so Aunt Clara practically raised him. His loyalties never wavered. After soothing her for a while, Aunt Clara finally stopped crying. Since it was late, Liam crashed at home. The next morning, the dorm was empty when he returned. He dropped his stuff and headed to class, only for Kai to sprint back, breathless. "You're back," Kai blurted, then stared at Liam with a weirdly intense look. What was his deal? That guilty expression, like he'd stolen $8 from Liam. Then it hit Liam. Was Kai still awkward about yesterday's public rejection? How could he smooth this over? Should he claim he wasn't just a stutterer, but also blind? Oh, actually, damn. His clumsy tongue made the air even thicker. Spit it out already. They stood there, speechless, for a solid 10 seconds before Kai suddenly muttered, "I'm single." His words came out ragged, perhaps from running. Huh? Liam had no clue how to respond. "I said, I'm single," Kai repeated, a hint of frustration in his voice. It took Liam a second. Probably heard Sam's plotting to conquer him and panicked. Was he quoting Sweet Home Alabama? Now some things fix themselves if you ignore them. Got it? Liam nodded sagely. Understood. So you came back, forgot something? Kai scratched his nose, glancing around the room. Yeah, forgot my phone. Seriously, when don't you forget your phone? Liam thought, a small, knowing smile playing on his lips. Aunt Clara's birthday fell on a weekend, and Liam arrived at the fancy restaurant his dad had booked, only to find Kai wearing a server's uniform, leading him to the private room. You work here part-time? Liam asked, climbing the stairs, utterly bewildered. Yep. Mystery solved. Why you're always ghosting? Liam teased, a playful jab at Kai's frequent disappearances. Kai scoffed, a faint blush rising on his cheeks. I don't. You totally do. Liam retorted, grinning. At the doorway to the private room, Liam paused. When's your shift end? Want to walk back to campus later? Aunt Clara popped her head out, her eyes lighting up. Liam, you're here. Yeah. Liam turned back to Kai, awaiting his answer, but Kai had suddenly furrowed his brows, an expression of annoyance creasing his forehead as he stared past Liam and into the dining room. You can leave after I finish eating, Kai said, his voice clipped, almost a command. Then we'll head out together. He turned and walked off without another word. Liam blinked, completely taken aback. Was this guy so socially awkward around strangers that he defaulted to his edgy persona? If he wanted to walk together, why did it sound like some grim obligation? Who was that hottie? Aunt Clara asked the moment Liam entered the private dining room, her eyes sparkling with curiosity. My roommate, Liam replied. Stabbing a piece of melon with his fork, still trying to process Kai's abruptness. Your roommate's broke, isn't he? Aunt Clara mused, reapplying her lip gloss casually. Seriously? Liam gave her a look that plainly said, check your privilege, Miss Clark. Working part-time jobs make someone poor now? Not like that, she clarified. When I took my car in for that scratch last week, I saw him working at the auto shop. Huh? Liam frowned. How do you even recognize him? Please, Aunt Clara scoffed, with a face like that, the only person I've seen who comes close to your looks. Hard to forget. Liam's eyebrows shot up. Was Kai struggling financially? How many jobs was he juggling? The restaurant sat 20 minutes from campus. As they walked back, Liam puzzled over Kai's earlier statement. What kind of work schedule ended exactly when Liam finished dinner? Coincidence? Or had Kai actually clocked out early to walk with him? His current icy demeanor suggested otherwise. They'd been walking in tense silence for 10 minutes when Liam finally cleared his throat, about to speak. Before he could, Kai suddenly stopped. Who was that woman? He demanded, staring at the sidewalk, his voice tight. What? Oh, my stepmom. Aunt Clara. Stepmom, Kai repeated, his jaw tightening as if he'd bitten something sour. Yeah. He exhaled sharply through his nose. Makes sense. What does? Liam asked, utterly confused. When Kai finally met his eyes, his expression held an uncomfortable intensity. Don't take it to heart. Stepmothers, they're not real mothers. Liam burst out laughing, a genuine, bubbling sound that surprised even himself. What's funny? Kai's brows knitted together, clearly offended by Liam's reaction. You don't have to force smiles. It's okay to hurt. The unexpected sincerity threw Liam. Since when did the campus's resident tough guy do emotional support? Liam Taylor, Kai said his full name with uncharacteristic softness. Holy. The edgelord had layers. Realization dawned on Liam. You mean when she called me that nickname? His grunt confirmed it. The streetlights caught the protective anger hardening Kai's features, transforming him into some brooding romance novel hero. Liam suddenly understood why Aunt Clara had remembered him so vividly. The guy looked kind of adorable. Liam grinned, feeling a warmth spread through him. I talk kind of slow. You don't mind? Take your time, Kai said with unexpected gentleness, a complete contrast to his usual gruff demeanor. So, Liam launched into explaining how Aunt Clara had used reverse psychology on him. When kids mocked his stutter as a child, even making 10-year-old him sob with snot bubbles, Aunt Clara tracked down every brat's parents and handled it. Then, she started deliberately calling him Liam the Stutterer herself. Said he needed to own the label instead of cringing from it. That's why insults about his speech never fazed him now. Kai listened silently, his brows knitted like storm clouds, clearly pissed, though Liam couldn't quite tell why. Figuring he'd lighten the mood, Liam offered, "Thanks, Kai." "For what?" "For caring about your roommate's mental health. The little sapling's growth depends on your nurturing." Instead of laughing, Kai's expression turned even weirder. "Nurturing," he cut himself off, suddenly power walking ahead. "Move it." "Ha! Wait up." Liam called after him, a wide smile on his face. Total drama queen. Zero humor appreciation. After that night, the brooding tough guy started occasionally cracking smiles at Liam. Still acted ice-cold publicly, a facade carefully maintained for his campus enforcer image, but privately, dude became a writer. He brought umbrellas during monsoon rains, shielding Liam from unexpected downpours. He fought stampedes at the Wednesday barbecue rib pop-up, ensuring Liam got his share of the coveted ribs. When Liam's speech therapy drills left him hoarse, Kai tossed him honey lemon drops like some secretive throat lozenge dealer. Liam became his first real college friend, and a significant one at that. Kai, the solitary wolf, the one who held everyone at arm's length, made Liam the only contact in his phone labeled emergency, not even his own dad. This quiet devotion, these small, consistent acts of care, forged an unspoken bond between them, a warmth that slowly melted away Kai's carefully constructed walls. Tonight, minutes before dorm curfew, Kai still hadn't returned. Liam's phone rang with growing anxiety. He called Kai's coworker at the burger joint. Turns out he'd gotten into another fight and was bleeding at some hospital, the coworker mumbled, clearly rattled. Snatching Kai's phone from the restaurant, Liam immediately ordered an Uber to the ER. The cab's leather seats creaked under Liam's death grip, his mind a whirlwind of worry and irritation. "Stupid idiot," he muttered, punching the back of the seat. 20 years old and still brawling like some hormone-flooded teenager. He found Kai slouched in urgent care's lounge, not in an actual hospital bed. Good, Liam thought, a wave of relief washing over him. Meant the drama wasn't life-threatening. Kai's eyebrows shot up when Liam stormed over, his eyes wide with surprise. "Liam, whyu." Liam's stutter flared with anger, his frustration overriding his usual hesitation. "Don't you have a mouth?" he snapped, jabbing a finger towards Kai's face. Kai blinked, clearly thrown. "Huh? Talking's too hard, even F for me." Liam continued, his voice rising, drawing the attention of other patients. "Got to solve everything with fists. Then at least don't get sliced open, dumbass." The grandma across the aisle nearly dropped her knitting needles, her jaw slack with surprise at Liam's outburst. Kai stared, his expression shifting from shock to disbelief, then burst into wheezing laughter that tugged at his fresh stitches. "Shut up. Why, you'll pop your..." "Liam," he gasped, clutching his bandaged arm, tears of mirth welling in his eyes. "Since when did you become my angry little mom?" Liam chucked Kai's phone at his chest. The screen lit up with 17 missed calls from him. Kai seemed stunned by Liam's scolding, his eyes wide, making him look almost childlike. This only fueled Liam's irritation. "What are you staring at? If puppy eyes worked, why'd you need that for?" Kai's expression shifted through multiple emotions, amusement, surprise, something unreadable, before he finally blinked and grinned awkwardly. "Liam, since when did you stop stuttering?" His question made Liam realize he'd rattled off that entire speech without a single hesitation. Well, damn me to it. Great. The stammer was back. Kai found Liam's predicament utterly hilarious, chuckling non-stop even after they left the hospital. Liam ignored him, more concerned about their sleeping arrangement since the dorm was closed for the night. Only one option remained. Let's get a room, Liam declared, stating the obvious. Kai's laughter died abruptly. Our room? His sudden bashfulness intrigued Liam. What's the big deal? We literally share a bedroom every night. That's different, Kai muttered, his ears turning a faint shade of pink. Liam recalled how flustered Kai had been during Sam's public confession earlier that day. Served him right for picking fights and ruining my mood. After prolonged teeth grinding, Kai finally growled through clenched jaws. Fine. We'll get a damn room. The hotel room's twin-bed configuration mirrored their dorm setup. Once inside, Liam moved to examine Kai's abdominal wound, which the hospital bandages had mostly concealed. Considering they'd roomed together for months, Liam assumed they'd reached shirt-lifting familiarity. But Kai trapped his wrist mid-reach. It's just a scratch. Scared I'll find no abs? Liam teased, a playful smirk on his face. I've got plenty, Kai retorted instantly, a defensive edge to his voice. Then quit being a prude. Thought you feared ruining your tough guy act. Kai shook his head with exasperated affection. You're impossible. He reluctantly lifted his shirt, revealing blood-speckled gauze. Leaning close, Liam held his breath to avoid disturbing the injury. This must hurt like hell. Why keep picking fights? Kai stiffened, abruptly retreating to the bathroom. Need to shower. Are you insane with that wound? Blood's crusting everywhere. Liam exclaimed, aghast. Can't stand it. Just tough it out, Kai mumbled, his voice tight. Can't. The lock clicked decisively behind the slammed door. Stubborn mule, Liam sighed, and followed, knocking twice on the door. Maybe I can help you. You okay by yourself? Sure, I'll avoid the wound, his reply dissolved into the shower spray. What a character. While Kai washed up, Liam called a friend, one of those well-connected nocturnal types that trust fund kids always seem to know, to deliver fresh clothes. It wasn't surprising at all. Yet Kai still looked startled when he emerged from the bathroom, toweling his chestnut hair dry. You, he chuckled, a hint of genuine amusement in his voice, playing fairy godmother, pulling new threads out of thin air this late? Liam shook his head. Fairy godmothers are girls. Do I look girly to you? Kind of, Kai smirked, the towel now scrubbing through his damp locks in a rather nurturing way. A warmth crept up Liam's ears. Since when did nurturing get tossed around so casually? Kai suddenly stepped closer, water droplets glistening on his collarbone, reflecting the hotel's warm, amber lighting. Liam, what? Liam asked, his voice barely a whisper, a sudden nervousness fluttering in his stomach. Kai studied him intently until Liam squirmed under the weight of his gaze. What? The hotel's amber lighting softened Kai's sharp features, casting them in a warm glow that made him look less like the campus enforcer and more like something vulnerable. I don't pick fights often, Kai began, his voice low, almost a murmur. Liam's confusion must have shown clearly on his face. That injury during orientation week. My dad did that. His thumb brushed Liam's furrowed brow before Liam even realized he'd moved. The 2 days I missed from stomach pain. His boot caused that. A bitter laugh escaped Kai, devoid of humor. Tonight's knife work also. Dad's masterpiece. Words lodged in Liam's throat, a lump of horror and disbelief. When he finally choked out, why? Kai's smile turned into something Liam could only describe as foul tragedy. Mom died in a hit-and-run years back, Kai explained, his eyes fixed on the grout line of the bathroom tiles, tracing it with an intensity that suggested he was seeing something far away. Dad's mind, sometimes he mistakes me for the driver. Can't look at me without episodes. That's why I dorm. The towel twisted in his hands, shredded by the force of his grip. Uncle managed his care till recently, but tonight. His voice thickened, breaking slightly. Cops took him after the restaurant scene. Guess it's psychiatric evaluation time. Sudden clarity pierced through Liam, illuminating Kai's endless shifts at the auto shop, the burger joint, the restaurant. The exhaustion etched beneath his eyes. His always being busy. It all made a horrifying, heartbreaking sense. Liam's arms moved before conscious thought, wrapping around Kai's still damp shoulders. The faint chlorine scent from his shower mixed with something uniquely Kai, something warm and earthy. Kai's breath hitched against Liam's neck, a raw, pained sound. This was the only way Liam knew how to comfort him at that moment. But his own tears just wouldn't stop flowing, silent rivulets tracing paths down his cheeks, a reaction not just to Kai's pain, but to the crushing weight of such a hidden life. After Kai spent half the night calming Liam down, gently shushing him and holding him close, Liam finally fell asleep, exhausted by the emotional deluge. The next morning, with no classes scheduled, Liam went downstairs to grab breakfast and brought it back to their room. Figured the injured party shouldn't walk too much. Kai laughed while eating, a genuine, unburdened sound that made Liam's heart flutter. It's my stomach that hurts, not my legs. Walking a few steps won't kill me. Liam grinned. Just let me play the overbearing neighbor this once. One breakfast won't hurt. As his friend, he wanted to be extra kind to him, kinder than usual. They headed back to campus after eating, the morning sun painting the world in hopeful hues. As Liam crouched by the doorway, struggling with his shoes, his phone rang on the nightstand. Kai glanced at it and said, "Aunt Clara is calling." "Put it on speaker," Liam instructed, still wrestling with a stubborn shoelace. The moment Kai did, Aunt Clara's voice exploded from the phone before Liam could even speak. "Liam. Have you been dealing with something stressful lately? Tell me who's bothering you. I'll beat them senseless. You can't keep bottling things up, it's bad for your health." Liam blinked in confusion. "Aunt Clara, nothing's wrong." Her volume spiked even higher. "Don't lie. Sam told me you've been smashing car windows non-stop, 8 times already." "You." Liam lunged for the phone, one shoe still undone, hastily turning off the speaker. "Really? I'm fine. I'll explain later." He backed away slowly, clasping his hands behind him and smiling innocently at Kai. Kai mirrored his pose, smiling back with equal sweetness. After an eternity, Kai finally broke the silence. "Not bad. That sentence just now, smooth as butter." "What the hell?" Liam thought, utterly bewildered. Since when did my stutter have exceptions? The more panicked he got, the clearer he spoke. But that wasn't the real issue here. "So, you knew I still work at the auto shop," Liam stated, his voice now steady, the absence of his stutter unnerving him more than its presence. Kai's expression hardened, the easy amusement fading from his eyes. "Yes." He closed the distance between them, his gaze intense. "And that sports car whose windows kept getting smashed, the one you brought in, specifically requesting me to fix it every time?" Liam's breath hitched. He had been caught. He looked down, unable to meet Kai's piercing stare. "I'm sorry. He trailed off, mortified. He must have found this humiliating. Liam had only wanted him to earn more, to ease some of the financial burden he'd unknowingly been carrying. Liam. Kai's full name, spoken with a deep, resonant tone, pinned Liam against the wall. His hand came up, bracing against the plaster beside Liam's head, effectively caging him. "Why are you being so nice to me? Is it pity?" "No. Liam exclaimed, his head snapping up, eyes wide. The very idea was offensive. Then why? Kai's voice dropped, a raw, vulnerable plea. Tell me, Liam. Liam could hear his own heartbeat thundering in his ears, thump. 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 Why? How should he answer? Ever since witnessing Sam's public confession to Kai, Liam had been wrestling with these inexplicable emotions. Then, he started exploring unfamiliar territories out of curiosity because he didn't just see Kai as a brother. He developed feelings even he couldn't comprehend. If he said this, would they stop being friends altogether? This was all his fault for overcomplicating things. Kai watched Liam's silence, his gaze intensifying with frustration, a muscle twitching in his jaw. Liam couldn't meet his eyes, hearing Kai's ragged breathing escalate into a suppressed hoarseness. You know why I never said I had a girlfriend when that guy confessed to me? Kai's voice was low, strained. But you did say. Liam's brain short-circuited, struggling to reconcile the memory with Kai's words. I said I wasn't single, Kai corrected, his eyes burning into Liam's. Not that I had a girlfriend. What's the difference? Liam whispered, utterly perplexed. All the difference, Kai inhaled sharply, his body trembling with a barely contained energy. Because I'll never have a girlfriend. Only a boyfriend. So that's why you rejected. Wait, boyfriend? You? Liam stared at Kai in utter disbelief. He had always assumed Kai was straight, a classic jock with a tough guy exterior, despite his occasional soft spots. Kai held his gaze unflinchingly, a fierce determination in his eyes. Then came the words that stopped Liam's heart, trapping his breath in his lungs. Liam, I liked you for ages. Kai braced his other arm against the doorframe, completing that cliché anime-style, cabinet move, that somehow, impossibly, worked on Liam. Anyway, if you don't push me away now, Liam. His voice roughened to gravel, you never will. The sound alone made Liam's throat parched, his mouth suddenly dry. My ass. Liam, acting on pure impulse, yanked the strings of Kai's hoodie, pulling his lips to his own. Their silhouettes merged against the wall, a raw, desperate embrace. Rookie kisses, fueled by adrenaline and clumsy gasps, dominated the moment. Through the haze, Liam remembered not to press against Kai's healing injury. What started as an impulsive, adrenaline-fueled kiss quickly became addictive. Kai developed this chronic need for recharging through kisses, stealing them at dawn before their dorm mates woke, claiming them after lights out, dragging Liam into equipment room corners, cornering him in alleyways after his shifts. He was the towering campus enforcer, Liam, the easy target, the stutter boy. The irony wasn't lost on Liam. Soon, bizarre rumors began to spread about Kai bullying Liam. Absolute nonsense, of course, but the secretive nature of their relationship painted a very different picture to outsiders. One day, Liam was suddenly pulled aside by a senior. This delicate-looking upperclassman spoke with surprising conviction, his brow furrowed with concern. Liam Taylor. Many people experience bullying. There's no shame in it. Don't ever feel like you have to endure it alone. Our student council has an anti-bullying group. Join us bravely, and we'll all support you. Liam chuckled awkwardly, trying to dismiss the notion. Really? I'm not being bullied. The senior grew frantic. Denial won't help, Liam. Multiple witnesses saw Kai dragging you into the school woods. Last time you came out with blood on your lips. If that's not brutal bullying, what is? Damn it, Kai. Were you raised by wolves? Liam thought, a mix of exasperation and amusement bubbling within him. Take it easy, Liam mumbled, his voice thick and breathless, through their latest frantic make-out session in the dorm room. Kai paused for air, his chest heaving, his eyes alight with a mischievous spark. What was that? He rasped, his voice rough with suppressed laughter. Ease up a bit, Liam repeated, equally breathless, pushing gently against Kai's chest. Kai pressed his forehead against Liam's, a deep, rumbling laugh vibrating through him. What's so funny? Liam grumbled, still catching his breath. Nothing. Kai's thumb brushed Liam's earlobe as his other hand slid to the small of Liam's back, pulling him closer. Don't worry, he murmured before reclaiming Liam's lips with a slow, possessive intensity. I'll be gentle when it really matters. This supposedly aloof ice prince turned out to be the biggest freaking tease. His pristine reputation, as far as their secret was concerned, was completely shattered. The clandestine nature of their relationship, however, delivered the best adrenaline rush. Their sneaky encounters, unfortunately, kept backfiring spectacularly. They were spotted behind the gym one day, nearly caught in bathroom stalls the next. The campus was clearly having a field day with the "Kai is bullying Liam" saga. Finally, their dorm leader, a sweet, painfully straight guy who genuinely cared about his residents, cornered Liam in an empty classroom, his face grave. "Liam, are you okay?" "Perfectly fine." "Why?" Liam asked, feigning innocence, even as his heart pounded. The dorm leader gazed at him like someone forced to swallow lemons. "Does Kai, is he harassing you?" "What?" "No." Liam exclaimed, genuinely shocked at the directness of the accusation. The dorm leader's eyebrows knitted together in confusion. "If he's not bullying you, then he..." He inhaled sharply, clearly struggling with the words. "He's probably trying to get in your pants." Liam's jaw dropped. If only he knew. He bit back a hysterical laugh. "Look, I'm not judging," the dorm leader quickly added, raising placating hands. "But last night, when I went for a piss, he was. His eye twitched, remembering the scene. Kissing you on the mouth." If only he knew about the tongue action, Liam thought, a wave of amusement washing over him. Best not to traumatize their sweet, painfully straight dorm leader. Choosing diplomacy, Liam asked, "Would it bother you having a gay roommate?" "Not unless he tries sneaking kisses," the dorm leader blurted out, then turned to mutter. We dissolved into hysterics. The tension, which had been thick enough to cut with a knife, evaporated like morning dew. Liam nodded politely with a smile. "Since you don't mind having one, I suppose you wouldn't mind having two?" He paused for dramatic effect. "Dorm president," he added, with a casual shrug, "I just casually came out of the closet." He couldn't lie, it felt kind of liberating. He was about to call Kai to share the news when Kai beat him to it. "Liam, didn't I tell you to stop vandalizing cars?" Kai's voice was firm, a hint of exasperation in his tone. "Huh? I didn't." Liam protested, genuinely confused. "Then why is your sports car back at the shop?" Liam rushed to the auto shop. Sure enough, their family car had two freshly shattered windows. Only Aunt Clara would orchestrate such theatrics. He dialed her number, and she answered instantly. Little stutterer. She'd clearly been waiting. Cutting to the chase, Liam asked, "What's with the car?" "Car? That's not a car," Aunt Clara declared, her voice dramatic. "That's a closet." "Excuse me?" "The closet door. See, I smashed it open. Right? Life's just a series of closet escapes. One another awaits." Aunt Clara had booked a weekend restaurant for their "Meet the Parents" dinner with Kai. Liam's sudden coming out had left even him unprepared, let alone knowing how Aunt Clara would truly react. Best to face it head-on. Kai fidgeted with Liam's fingers the entire ride to the restaurant, his nervousness almost comical. After exiting the cab, Liam dragged him behind a billboard for a quick peck. "Relax. Whatever happens, I'm not ditching you." Kai's shoulders visibly loosened as he ruffled Liam's hair, then carefully smoothed it back down, a small, grateful smile gracing his lips. Aunt Clara sat poker-faced in the private dining room. Liam's introductory spiel met with her amused silence, unsettling them both. "Miss Clark," Liam finally broke, unable to stand the tension any longer. "Care to say something?" She exhaled dramatically. "Thank God that's over. Couldn't keep that up another second." Her formal posture collapsed, replaced by her usual flamboyant self. "Wanted to seem proper meeting my daughter-in-law, son-in-law, whatever. The point is, first impressions matter." Kai and Liam exchanged bewildered glances. At least she wasn't opposed. The entire meal felt less like a dinner and more like being catalogued in some family registry. When Kai, ever the responsible one, apologized, "I can't provide for Liam properly yet," Aunt Clara waved it off with a dismissive hand. "You're still in school, but soon." Kai vowed, his eyes earnest, "I'll give him everything." Aunt Clara grinned. "Don't worry, we'll keep him pampered till then." "Excuse me?" Liam sputtered, but Aunt Clara just winked. When Liam first realized he was attracted to men, his father had some reservations. But after persistent persuasion from Aunt Clara and her daily efforts to educate him about the normality and validity of same-sex relationships, he eventually came around. Kai didn't face significant financial pressures these days. After that car-smashing incident that Liam got caught in, Kai had a serious talk with him. His father had substantial savings to cover long-term care facility fees, so Kai only needed to work for his tuition. He made Liam promise not to waste money vandalizing vehicles again.